Hello, welcome to Inner Quest. My name is Jay Stone, and our guest today is Dr. Helen Gitlevich. Welcome, Dr. Gitlevich.
Thank you, Jay.
And would you prefer that I call you Dr. Gitlevich or Helen?
Helen is fine.
Okay. Helen went to medical school and practiced medicine for 10 years, but Helen realized that traditional medicine was not for her. She went into alternative practices and became a Reiki practitioner, Akashic Records certified teacher and consultant, and now she's also an Access Consciousness certified facilitator and a body process facilitator. And we're going to find out about those. I want to hear a little bit about your medical training and experience and why you left medicine. You know, it's unusual.
That's actually not so unusual lately because of the stress of the profession. Mm-hmm. My journey started, I came from Russia when I was 17, right after high school. Mm-hmm. So went to UIC and then Rush Medical College, Resurrection for residency, and then practiced in Buffalo Grove, Arlington Heights area.
What was your residency in?
Family practice.
Okay.
I was general practitioner working over 10 years until...
you don't look that old.
Thank you. Yeah. Absolutely. So I practiced and then I ended up with so much stress from medical practice, even that I was doing yoga, I was doing a lot of like Akashic Records and Reiki and all of those practices and meditation, still ended up with open heart surgery at 37.
Wow.
So,
and was
plus,
there any family history of heart disease?
Later we found out, yes, but not until 81 in my grandma.
Oh, okay.
But I attribute it mostly to the stress itself, because we found out that in medical profession, a lot of people end up with heart disease, different problems. So the idea to look for something alternative, and I always was searching. Mm-hmm. So that what brought me toward different practices that I've been doing since I left the practice. I sold my practice and kind of went into different avenue. I also became an artist and...
Oh, I wish you would have brought some artwork. I would have loved to have seen it and shared with our audience. Well, let's start with Access Consciousness. What is Access Consciousness? I think you brought. Would you like to use this?
Probably.
Yeah?
This is the beginning of the Access Consciousness. Access Consciousness is very pragmatic system of tools. Mm-hmm. That allows people to kind of get rid of their limitations, their blocks that doesn't allow them to have the relationship they want, the money flows that they desire, and pretty much the life that they wish they had.
Well, money, relationships, and weight are big ones.
Weight is very easy to kind of like allow to release with different tools that Access offers. And we have bars, which is like you're holding the chart, which is 32 points on the head.
Who developed Access Consciousness?
Gary Douglas. He's the founder of Access. He is a psychic, entrepreneur, as well as a writer. He wrote multiple books, and he channeled that about 25 years ago.
So is this hands-on healing?
This is hands-on healing as well as verbal clearings. There is a verbal processes, which is, you know, we are energy beings, right?
Yeah, well, and there's energy medicine as of late, even though it's ancient.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But because everything is vibrationally based, we use words as a vibrational frequency, our hands with bioelectric and kind of like energy healing, as well as our minds.
Is there any way we could demonstrate this for our audience? Maybe they can try it at home, or you can try it with me.
Absolutely. It's usually the easiest to demonstrate is the verbal processes.
Okay.
One of them is an amazing tool. A lot of thoughts, feelings, and emotions that we pick up from other people. How often do you walk into the any of, let's say, room where somebody's angry, and how often you pick that up? or
Yeah.
somebody is happy and you become happier. So the tool we have is asking who does it belong to, and releasing it,
Okay.
sending it back to whoever gave it to you.
Okay.
And you can, the other one is a clearing statement, and we can work with different tools.
Okay.
If you would like to clear something right now, you can ask me a question and we can work with that, looking at the energy that you've created in your life.
Okay.
It's up to you.
Oh,
to
I
just-
ask a question?
Right. Everything is based on your questions.
Okay.
Because this is not about me healing somebody. It's about the person choosing for themselves. Access is empowering people to let them know that they know much more than they think they do, and allowing them to come to themselves.
Okay.
It's about their choices, not my choices. So whatever you choose to clear, that's your choice.
Okay. Can I do it silently in my head?
It's easier when you say something.
All right. Well, I got one thing, but I prefer not to say it.
Okay.
So, out loud, it's because it's personal.
Okay, no problem. So you don't have to tell the story. Just is it relationship, money, or anything like that?
I'd
So
say it's both.
it's both. Okay.
Yeah.
So would you like to let go of that, first of all?
Yeah.
Actually, not really. So what do you love about the situation?
What do I love about the situation? Nothing. I just
There might
want it to
be-
go away.
Yeah, but usually if it stays,
Yeah.
there might be something that there for you. And the benefit doesn't have to be a good benefit. It
Yeah.
can be punishing yourself or allowing yourself to stay there for a reason. And we're not working with a conscious mind.
Okay.
We're working with subconscious.
Okay. And, all right. So, let's get away from me.
Okay.
And how does Access Conscious actually work? Access Consciousness actually work?
Again, by allowing the person to release whatever they're ready to release. One of the easiest way is the bars, which
Yeah.
is by lightly touching those points, you allow the energy to dissipate. It's like a delete buttons on a computer.
Well, what happens if somebody has, let's say, third generation anxiety or depression?
We usually spend more time on the point behind the ear, which is called implant band, which is all your emotions of fear, anger, shame, blame, and guilt, and multiple other ones.
Could you person trigger that, him or herself?
Absolutely.
How would they do that?
They will just hold the points like this. It's behind the ear. There is a like a little bump, and you go behind the bump.
Little bump.
Yeah, right there. And
Okay.
behind it, like a little bit closer to the back. And if you hold it like that, and you say implant band, it will start warming up. It literally, you could feel the energy dissipating.
Now, isn't the reptilian brain back there the oldest part of the brain?
It is, and that's where we hold the emotions.
Uh-huh.
So that's why.
And very simple programs like move to, move away.
Exactly.
It's the habitual.
And the
unfortunately, we think habitually, so
Right.
and once we get angry or upset, we just...
Yeah, and the fear a lot of times is back there because that's almost like pre-verbal fear because it's flight or fight reflex, which is kind of a reptilian. Everybody does that. All the animals have that. So that's where the implant of fear is.
Well, I'm also, I remember reading how when we breathe back here, it helps us to relax.
Absolutely,
So we can kind
there.
of breathe in through our nose and
Yeah.
direct the breath to the back of the brain. Yeah.
And that's why there is a lot of points back there to release a lot of emotions.
Now, are there any medical research that validates access consciousness?
It's starting to be. Right now, there is more anecdotal cases where one of my students, like he's a naturopath, and he did body processes on an 88-year-old man who had a congestive heart failure, which is his heart wasn't working. He had swelling, and the markers that were supposed to be 200 were in 1200 range. After doing about a week or a couple of weeks worth of body processes, it went down to 270. There were studies with breast cancer where there was a couple of body classes that were done within 10 days, and then people were doing body processes on themselves, which is energy work. And the tumors shrunk or changed whatever they were doing.
Well, I'm not surprised. What was it, Kruger's Crazies, the therapeutic touch,
Right.
developed by a nurse, Dr. Kruger.
Yes.
And, they'd be fouling around the hospital, and they would wear T-shirts called Kruger's Crazies. But now that I know there's a lot of research that validates. Was it the
Absolutely.
healing touch or therapeutic touch?
Yeah, there is a healing touch, there is a different modality, there is quantum touch. They all different energy work. I've tried some of them pretty much, and a lot of them work wonderfully. Just found that Access works a little bit faster just because it goes to the root of the problem, like the point of creation, and releases it right then and there.
And so, what typically is the root of the problem?
Whatever we created, the root of the problem is any memories that we have or any contracts. Like if you think of karma, it's an old contract that did not finish in a previous lifetime, if you believe in reincarnation, or anything in our lifetime that we didn't finish or thought. Let's say I had a client who had a money issue, and we finally found out her root of the problem is a belief that money destroyed her family. And until she releases that,
Or the money is the root of all evil.
exactly, and
Yeah.
we clear a lot of those. Those are mostly implants from society, parents, schools, whatever they were.
Well, I would assume there'd be a shift in the brain, the nervous system. Now, I know there's, what is that when they do the back of that touch?
Oh, the
CranioSacral Therapy. CranioSacral therapists, which I've interviewed for this show, they said they could actually feel the change in the flow of the craniosacral fluid. Do you notice the changes in the head?
In the energy, I usually look at the energy of the body, like aura, and with the craniosacral, it's a little different technique. I've done a couple of points. I've tried that. To me, it's much harder to feel the craniosacral technique. I have not been trained in that long enough, I guess.
Yeah.
Here,
well, you said that you see auras?
no, I don't see auras. I sense energy changes.
Okay.
I perceive the energy shifts in the body.
Now, do you sense physically or visually?
It's physically. Like when we do the bars, the points literally heat up. They become either hot, tingly, or cold, depending on the person, depending on the time.
Should I hold up this?
Sure, you can show it.
Are both sides the same?
They're different. It's,
Okay, well,
it's
here's the
32
page.
points, so 16 on one and 16 on the other.
Okay, and so while you're connecting to the person, I assume they're on a massage table?
Either massage table or zero gravity chair, so they're comfortably relaxed. Actually, I've done it even on the floor, in bed, in the airport, in the chair. It doesn't matter. You can do it anywhere.
Okay.
And especially on yourself.
Oh, okay. So I noticed, here's some points for, healing, sadness, joy, sexuality, body.
It's the points where we hold all the points of view about those things. All the points of view about body, all the points of view about healing. And by releasing them, a lot of healing, it takes place. There is also aging toaster, if you look on the other side, which holds a lot of points about aging. What we found with Access, a lot of people who've been doing Access either stop aging or reverse age.
And how do you measure that?
It's just by looking at that. And people feel better, so they feel younger. I don't think there is an actual age meter yet.
Yeah.
Maybe someday we will have it.
I think a University of Chicago medical professor, he came up with What is Your Real Age? It's like a book based on
Right.
all these habits and things. But,
Exactly. But that's
but
just the
it's
habits.
Yeah. Well, and then I noticed like there's things here like circle of manifestation.
It's pretty much the energy that creates things in your life, how you manifest things in your life. And by opening that up, you open up to more of creating and attracting. You know how law of attraction works.
Yes.
And this is pretty much opens you much more to that.
Okay. And then here's one, tunnels of time and space.
Time is not real, as we know it. Space
It's a mental
is.
construct.
It's a mental construct.
Yeah,
Space
Einstein.
is. So by opening the tunnels, you're again opening yourself more to creative ability of your being and your body.
So people don't have like time poverty.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you can actually create more in a smaller amount of time.
Okay,
Because there
more
is a
productive.
lot more
and efficient.
productive, more efficient. And you actually, there is a lot of magic in access. That's the only way I can describe. Because
Okay.
how often have you moved from place A to place B much faster than you can possibly do that physically?
Okay, and here's one crown of my star.
This is kind of like a crown chakra.
Yeah,
It
would you
opens
want to
it to
hold, show people, can you do that with my head?
Absolutely.
Yeah, oh, okay.
So what you
You
can
got to
do.
be careful with your,
Oh, microphone. Oh.
okay. Would you like me to come by you?
If you actually turn around,
Okay,
I can do that.
Okay.
So I can literally hold.
oh, I can feel that immediately, even before you touch me.
Right. So your implant band is right here. So if I hold that, it allows it to discharge. It usually starts to discharge within like a few seconds to a couple of minutes.
So this is the circle of manifestation?
No, this is not the circle of manifestation.
Okay.
This is an implant band, your
Oh.
fears.
Oh, okay.
But the crown or circle of manifestation is this area right here. And that's what we hold it. And the crown, we pretty much open it up and we hold it this way.
Now, I can't see what you're doing, but I can sense the energy. Are you
Right.
holding your hands above my head?
Above your head, almost
Yeah.
like an energy ball.
Okay.
And then we'll let it go. So that's kind of like the crown.
And I felt a shift in my whole body when you went and let it go. Very, very interesting.
Yeah. This is one of the few modalities that I've experienced where you don't have to imagine things. You actually sense it and feel it.
Now, autism and ADD is on the rise, or
Exactly.
at least at least I'm more aware of it, and I think other people are. Could it work with?
Absolutely.
Children?
We have, there is actually a new book that just came out by Ann Maxwell. Will You Teach a Fish to Climb a Tree? Which is because she deals specifically with autistic kids. And because autism is not disability, it's actually ability, because they process information differently. They are bombarded by information at the same time. So what bars do, they allow them to concentrate because it slows down the brain waves. That was actually studied. It's on, you can Google it. I don't remember the scientist who did that, but he did encephalogram or some other study of brainwave. And after the bars, he'd never seen that much slowing of the brain waves, not even with meditation, of years of meditation. So what bars do, they slow down the brain so the kids can process much more efficient. I've seen a girl with autism who, one of them right now lives by herself, actually traveled to Japan. She's one of the facilitators in Access. And also another kid, well, she's not a kid, she's young adult. And she was told she will never live alone, she should be in an institution. Now she lives alone, works as a volunteer at animal shelter. So those miracle stories are everywhere.
And are these children taught also to work on themselves?
Yes. And also to do it on others, because that system is actually contribution. Because when you gift somebody a process, you receive the same thing.
Well, you worked on me for like a minute, and I could, honestly, I could feel the effects on me. So, thank you. Now, a lot of people have like digestive ailments or problems, or how about like musculoskeletal issues?
We work with fibromyalgia, with arthritis. All of those been helped by different body processes. There is actually a specific one for, let's say, arthritis. It's antalgic shadows, which is helps the pain. There is MTVSS, which is body process that works on original blueprint of DNA. So we can affect different things with different energies.
Now, do you ever have physicians refer for you clients?
Actually, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
They do.
And have you kept your medical license valid so you could actually, your clients could use their insurance?
Actually, no.
Okay.
Yeah, I have my license, but I don't practice traditional medicine anymore.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah.
I'm sure the audience is thinking about that going,
Absolutely.
I want to see her.
Right. No, and that's not covered by the insurance. And I also prefer teaching people. I'd love to have them in my classes instead of private sessions.
Are you going to be teaching at Infinity?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm
And what-
now a faculty member.
Okay, good. And what exactly are you going to be teaching?
I'm going to be teaching bars, which is a beginnings class, which is a full day from 10 till 6, or it's 8-hour class. I'll probably be teaching foundation and level 1, which is more advanced classes in access. I'll be teaching different body processes, and including facelift, because there is a wonderful body process which is called facelift.
Is there something you can just show us a few exercises on facelift?
Facelift is actually hands-on. You have to learn that it's
And so this would be doing on someone
on
else?
someone else. You can do it on yourself, but it's not very comfortable to kind of lift your skin. But we've had cases where 15 to 20 of those sessions was equal to results of surgical facelift.
Wow. Wait, you got to repeat that. Let's see if I understood you. You're saying that 15, 20 results as if...
20 sessions resulted in looks like somebody had a facelift.
Really? And you've run that by plastic surgeons and...
Not yet.
Okay. That's pretty powerful. And so the terminology bars, is that an acronym for something, or
No.
it symbolizes something?
It's pretty much, I would say it's the energy between the points, like a bar.
Oh, okay.
Because the information has been channeled by Gary, that's where the names came from.
Okay.
And as I said, there are delete buttons on the brain just like they are on the computer.
And then access consciousness, I mean, it's kind of...
Yeah. Our definition of consciousness includes everything and judges nothing. And that's pretty much definition. You can call it divine, you can call it different names. And we're accessing that. The idea is to become more conscious.
And use more of the brain. What do they say? The average person uses what? Just a few percentage?
Yeah.
You know, and a genius like Einstein used 5%?
Somebody actually asked me about that. They watched the movie Lucy. And in Access, there is a body process in advanced class, which is called 990% of the brain to increase the brain function, which actually does that. It allows you to function at a different level.
Are you aware of that study they did with the nurses, that longevity study? Not nurses, they were nuns.
Not sure. Which study was that?
Well, they wanted to know why these nuns lived, like on average, 10 years longer than the typical woman. And what they discovered was that the nuns kept their minds and brains active. They played board games and word games and did crossword puzzles and had book clubs.
Oh, yeah. The idea is to keep the brain active. That's where the reverse aging comes in.
And since you are a doctor and you do complementary medicine, what about the time people spend playing, watching TV or playing video games, etc.?
It actually, some of them are addictions.
Yeah.
I don't have any, like with Access, the idea not to have any judgments or points of view.
Yeah.
It's their choices.
Yeah.
If they choose that, that's what's required in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, what I found with doing bars, they watch much less TV and play less games.
Okay.
So even without doing any other behavioral therapy or behavioral modification, it actually changes because they require it less. A lot of that is escape. Mm-hmm. Just like alcoholism or drug addictions, they escape from reality, escaping that bombardment of, as I started talking about, outside influence. With literally, we are picking up other people's thoughts, feelings, and emotion. And some people are more sensitive to that. Mm-hmm. So, especially autistic kids or people with ADD, ADHD, and even like normal people who are healers or who are more aware of things.
People who meditate.
They're more
compassionate or empathetic.
Therapists. They pick up more. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times they need to kind of like numb their brain without realizing that.
Yes.
But with different technique, you can actually clear it much easier.
And use the brain, the brain function for something healthier or better.
For creation.
Yes. Yeah.
The idea is to use our brain, create instead of destruct
Helen,
ourselves.
we believe it or not, we just have about a minute left.
Oh my God, that went fast.
Yeah. So, is there anything you want to add in this final minute? You know, or I can ask. I got a question for you. The name of the show is Inner Quest, and you obviously are helping people pursue their inner quest. What do you do for your own?
I actually, for me, I like using Access on myself. Mm-hmm. I love the tools, but at the same time, I love art. I paint. Mm-hmm. I used to do ceramics. I love reading books. Yes. I love traveling. And that actually allows me to travel all over the world, teaching classes and taking classes.
Okay. And any meditation?
I do meditation sometimes. I used to do Zen very seriously. Uh-huh. Now it's not required as much because my brain actually quieted down so much that a lot of times my mind is in meditative state.
Okay. Well, I think we got to wrap it up here. It's been a pleasure, and I wish we had a whole lot more time because I've got a lot of questions I didn't get to. For more information about Dr. Helen Gitlevich, Inner Quest show or Infinity Foundation, stay tuned to the credits at the end. Until next time, wish you good health, good fortune, and good spirits. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
For more information about this show, our guests, Infinity Foundation, or any of our other programs, please visit our website, infinityfoundation.org, or call us at 847-831-8828.